Okay, everyone, welcome to another episode of On Point EDC. Today I have a really interesting and fun review for you from a newer brand that kind of popped up on my feed as of late. So I was kind of interested when, of course, when they reached out to check out this cool new fidget tool that they describe as a sleek fidget tool that looks as good as it feels. Being small and subtle, it blends into professional settings with its frictionless, noiseless rolling, while it keeps your hands busy and your mind at ease. This is known as the ONO roller. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but hey, let's just go with it. In terms of the product type, I consider this kind of a fidget toy or fidget tool. Some key common characteristics and design language when you're looking for something within this space. Of course, that unique pocketable object that you can take with you and fidget to reduce stress or relieve stress and anxiety. And, these are definitely a big part of today with the hustle and bustle. Everybody's got things going on. We've all kind of went through our fidget spinners and spinning tops. And now seeing this roller, I thought it was kind of different. And I'm kind of happy to check it out with you guys. So with that said, let's go ahead and zoom the camera out, get this piece in hand, and take a closer look. Okay, guys, now before we dive in, quick customary wristwatch check. Today I do have on my G-Shock Virtual Armor, full titanium, black coated. We also have the fully awesome movement where you can actually connect it Bluetooth via your phone app. So this thing's always on, always accurate, and of course maybe it goes with this black on black motif. You do get this inside of this cool little carrying pouch if you wanted to store it. I could actually store this in the fridge, and it does add a little bit of a cooling sensation to the actuation here, but there's really no wrong way to do it, but as you can see, there's this way so far. Or you could put it between two hands, do something along that, or just roll it along your body, or if you got some soreness. It's actually pretty intuitive that it kind of just does it itself. It's not like you got to learn any tricks with this one, or use any special techniques. It's something that just kind of gets in your hand and your hand just figures it out, which I like. And I also like that you don't have to look at it because there's nothing going on cool to look at, right? Like, let's say you have a spinner, you end up looking at it, or you have one of those little fidget boxes and there's all these little switches and stuff. You tend to kind of, you of course you want to get the actuation out of it, but you kind of end up looking at it. And here they go really out of their way to make sure that although this isn't something that just like looks really out of place, it doesn't look like a toy, right? If you see this on your desk, it definitely looks more like something you would use for exercise. But it's really not that at all, which I can appreciate. So a little bit about this piece. This is the original ONO roller. It goes for $34.99. It's made out of aircraft grade aluminum with smooth bead blasted finish. Of course, this one is covered in the black coating though. It measures about 3.5 inches in length and fits comfortably into most palms here. And I have to say that from the pictures, I thought it was going to be smaller, but they do have smaller variations. It's also a little heavier than I thought it was going to be. Not heavy by that means, but maybe not something I would want to pocket with me and kind of carry with me. This is more something I'd probably want to leave in the car, which I found is a really good way to use this because we can get tired while we're driving, we're going through traffic, and instead of fidgeting with your phone and taking your eyes off of the road, you can absolutely fidget with this. Sometimes what I would do is I'd actually take out a knife and flick it and kind of fidget with that if I'm getting kind of sleepy or anything. Of course, depending on who the passenger is, because if there's a passenger, they probably don't want me flicking my knives around. But for something like that, I found that this is actually really cool, and I think that's one of the things that makes this different than a lot of other fidgetable things. Is one, it's very quiet, and two, you could do it again and not really pay attention, like you're not looking at it. And even with a pen you're fidgeting with, you want to know if the point is out or not. Here you could take this, you could put it down, pick it back up, and it's not a big deal. Throw it inside your cup holder in that center console. So and you can hear it's not making any sound, so it's very, very quiet. So it's very nice. And then you got it just basically, it connects two cylinders. so that you can get this kind of continuous rolling, and you can just roll this thing nonstop. It's that durable to where it's just going to keep going. It's not going to wear out or anything like that. Or, I guess if you needed to maintain it, you easily could, but it's not something that requires a lot of maintenance from that perspective, right? We can let it roll. It doesn't really want to roll on its own, as you can see. So it's not going to roll away, which is nice. But it's very frictionless when you start getting this going. So it's one of those things. It's weird. In your hand, it really feels like it wants to get going. But if you put it down, you don't have to worry about it rolling off your desk or anything like that. So, yeah, this is a weird one, guys. There's not too much to say with this thing, but I did want to you guys see. I mean, for those of you that are interested in how well something is built, especially for the money, $35, this thing is built really, really well. I have to say. And then again, if you store it in the fridge, it does give you a little bit of a cooling sensation, which is nice, can be very therapeutic. But for me, just having this, and like if you don't go like hardcore, like if you wanted to, you could probably cramp up your hand if you really just like went ham on this thing, right? But if you're just kind of chilling, kind of reminds me of ball bearings, and kind of using those. I mean, those were like before fidget toys. You could kind of fidget with 2 ball bearings, but then they'd make a sound. You could drop them. It was really, really not a cool thing. If you dropped them and they rolled around, it's like they made a lot of noise. This isn't going to make any noise, and if it drops, it might make a loud noise, but it's not going to roll anywhere, and you're not going to be chasing it, stumbling anywhere. So for me, guys, I guess getting into some closing thoughts in hand, I think it's very intuitive. There's nothing to learn. There's no tricks to it. You can do whatever. You can, this thing you can do a lot with it. And it's not like you're going to go watch a YouTube video and like learn how to do stunts with this. This thing's not going to take over your life. It's not like a butterfly knife or a balisong, I should say, where you're going to like, have all these tricks and stuff. Like this is just something that you pick up, put in your hand, and it gets going, and you can actually focus on other things, right? Whether you're reading, whether you're driving, whether you're just watching a movie and yourself and you're going to be scrolling through your phone, just have this by your side instead, and it can kind of relieve some of that urge for you to keep scrolling and fidget and mess with stuff, see what else is on. So, like, for me, this is like an awesome kind of answer to a question. The question for you all is do you have that similar question, right? Do you need something that is something you can fidget with? And hopefully if you clicked on this video, you are somebody who is interested in fidget tools. Of course, I know a lot of you might be interested in my channel more so for watches or pocket knives, wallets, stuff like that. But I do kind of cover this type of stuff too, just because it is useful in a weird way, right? It's therapeutic. You always want to try to relax. I mean, you can probably tell by the tone of my voice that I'm very chill while doing this, and hopefully that doesn't come off as I'm not excited about this piece. I mean, I didn't have to pay for it. The brand did send it in, but honestly, like the price at $35, it's not like they did me a huge favor by sending it in. I mean, I could have tried this thing out on my own. That's kind of what you would spend on Amazon just trying stuff out anyway. So there's not a lot of risk factor involved. So, and there's also, not a lot of mystery. Like if you were to pick this thing up, you kind of know what you got, and hopefully you seeing it gives you a little bit of better idea how this might render in your hand, or, maybe some use cases you might find useful. So yeah, I mean, for me, the thing that kind of differentiates it is that you can use it while not giving your attention to it. So you don't need to watch it do some cool thing. It's not like a Rubik's Cube where you finish it, right? You can just kind of mess with this. And it does add, of course, a soothing feel. And then again, you can also cool it off, get that extra sensation, like those face rollers and stuff that your wife probably has in the fridge. You can put this in the fridge, and then you can also use it for your hand, or, some soreness. You can just kind of rub it wherever. So that also works. And then, yeah, of course, warning, don't get too aggressive with it because you could start kind of cramping your hand up, which defeats the whole purpose. So, yeah, don't go nuts with this thing. But, yeah, I mean, also in the pocket, it does have this great pouch, so you could carry it, but yeah, I think it's better to just kind of leave in your car set up like this. Like you put this, boom, you know, put it over there next to your hand sanitizer that you got to use after you go to the gas station, or if you're just on a long drive, you pull this thing out. And you can kind of mess with it instead of scrolling through the radio or, you know, scrolling through your phone while you're driving. This could be definitely something to kind of just keep your mind a little bit engaged while you're stuck in that kind of day-to-day traffic where you can find yourself putting your brain on autopilot a lot of the times. So, yeah, you know, while it does fit in the pocket, I wouldn't consider this something that I would want to kind of carry around every day just because it's a little bit larger, a little bit heavier. You know, but that doesn't mean that you are that way. You guys might have deeper pockets than me. So, you know, in terms of model variants, it does come in, this is considered the original size, or you can get a smaller junior size, you know, with a few kind of fun colorization choices, as well as an even heavier version. Like you can get this in steel instead of aluminum. So if this is too lightweight for you and you really want something heavy and hefty in your hand, but for me, I think this has plenty of weight to it for its size. I think you know, it feels like it should. I'm not feeling this thinking, oh man, if this felt more substantial or heavier, then I might like it more. But if that's your bag, you know, maybe you're super into fitness or something and you just want to add some extra weight, just to kind of excite yourself with this one, you absolutely could. In terms of comparable options, yeah, there's definitely a lot of options on the market, but you know, this is kind of that first roller design that really caught my eye. Although there's a lot of things you could fidget with, whether it be a pen, a knife, or a specific dedicated fidget tool or toy, this one, again, this is kind of just something different that I saw that caught my eye, and I was kind of glad that they reached out when they did. So bottom line here, guys, this is a fun little fidget item. I think that's worth trying, and if you're in the market for something that doesn't look or feel like a toy, and presents itself more like a tool, this is definitely more for you. You know, maybe you're at work and you need something and you don't want it to look like you got a bunch of kids' toys, you know, tops and spinners and little button boxes and stuff like that. So you could easily have something like this at your desk and nobody would even know what it is. They probably assume that it's more for like grip strength or something like that. But yeah, this one is, you can see, oh, look at me, hey. So yeah, it kind of does its thing, but it's nice. So I think well done to the brand on this one. Let me see if I can get it to focus. There you go. I think they did really well. It's very solidly built, and it's not very expensive, and it does its job. Like, it's meant to give you the sensation of rolling, and that's exactly what it does. So with that said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked the video, please do a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks, guys.